Ullswater's visitors had packed up for the day, and the lake was still. The water kissed the pebble beaches along her northern shores, and the cars that normally choked the laybys and car parks were gone. The steamers had finished their hourly chugging up and down, and the only onlookers were the bowing trees, gently swaying, until tomorrow, when it would all start again. Hidden away from prying eyes, whatever the time of day, concealed beyond a private driveway, lay an old stately pile, proudly dominant for 200 years. Wasdale Hall, home to the Fitzgeralds since the Domesday Book, sat in darkness for 2 reasons. 1, the current Earl, Xavier Paulus II, balked at the electricity bills, and 2, his grandson, Zachary, had been out fishing all day. There was ample light, though, from the mid-May sun as it dipped further behind the Helvellyn Range to the west of the lake. In the driveway sat 3 old Land Rovers, one still containing Zachary's kit from his session at Ayr-Beck. He'd pulled out a 3-pound beast of a trout that morning, and the kitchen still smelled of cooking. Linda, the housekeeper for almost 30 years, had cooked it the way Grandpa liked it, with plenty of butter and parsley from the herb garden at the rear. Zachary stayed in the kitchen by the Aga, which beat out the only heat in the house, and forked chunks of dog food into 2 feeding bowls. He'd long since pulled off his boots, and his belly was full. Now it was the turn of the dogs, who eyed him greedily. There wasn't a sound. They watched TV rarely, and not even a radio broke the hush, while Grandpa was long for his bed, and Linda had washed up and gone to her home in Watermillock hours ago. Samson and Delilah hovered hungrily, but patiently. They knew their turn would come. The 2 great lumbering dark brown Labradors licked their lips in anticipation. Zachary stood up, and the dogs padded over from their baskets and began to eat. He put the fork in the sink and the tin in the dustbin and watched them gobble their dinner. Fatigue gripped him, and he yawned. There was little more to do, only have a shower and climb into bed. The season was heating up nicely, and there would be plenty more fishing days to come. He knew that as soon as he left the warmth of the kitchen, he would be hit by the icy blast of the rest of the old windy mansion until he jumped beneath his duvet and generated his own heat. Grandpa was adamant. The heating went off on the 31st of March and came back on again on the 1st of November, every year without fail. Zachary lingered a little longer. The kitchen was his favourite room. It was where he talked to Linda and Brian, the gardener, and it was where he could put his feet up on a chair, muddy boots drying by the Aga. It was where he talked about his paintings and the best places to catch perch. It was where he gutted his fish, and it was where he listened. It was also where he preferred to eat. Grandpa ate in the dining room, alone. It had always been so. Zachary preferred to sit with Linda and Brian, not because he didn't love his grandpa. Nothing could be further from the truth. It was simply because Grandpa had certain routines that would never change. He was a creature of habit. Zachary allowed the dogs to finish and let them out to roam around in the garden for the last time before bed. They always stayed close, and he never worried about them wandering off. But tonight, they didn't seem to want to go. Samson whined and looked up at the ceiling, as if he wanted Zachary to take him upstairs. Zachary laughed and stroked the dog. Delilah copied and refused to go out. "Have it your own way, then," he said affectionately. "In your baskets." They reluctantly obeyed and stared up at their master with huge eyes. Zachary almost felt like curling up beside them. He shrugged his shoulders and yawned again, flicking off the lights. No one locked doors around the lake except the tourists, even after last year, when the woman had been found by Watermillock Church. He shivered.